Alright, what's going on today, guys? My name is Jason Wojo. I want to welcome you guys to my channel. If you're new, hit the subscribe button down below and we're going to get into my story. We're going to go from the very beginning and why it means something to you and why you should be joining this channel and joining me on my journey. I've been behind the scenes for the last couple of years. I've been, mostly on other main social media platforms like, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok that I'm currently trying to, exploit. But I'm a digital marketer. I just do a lot of local business marketing, e-commerce, website design. I run a digital marketing agency here in Orlando, Florida. And I want to just really rewind and give you guys the whole rundown of, my story in the most quickest format possible. So that if this story may relate to you, it may motivate you, then, obviously you can join me on my journey. If it doesn't satisfy you, that's fine. You can move on and watch the next video. But I'm originally from upstate New York. I grew up in Newburgh, New York. It's in a, we call it Orange County or the Hudson Valley. It's also near like Poughkeepsie. It's about an hour and a half away from the city, from New York City, from Manhattan. Take like the Metro North train. It's about an hour and a half north. When I grew up in New York, I lived with my parents and then my sister, who was 5 years older than me. One thing I want to point out right now is that if you hear my dog in the background, she's sick right now, so that's the sound that you might be hearing. She's like throwing up a lot, so I apologize for that. I actually just got her about like a week and a half ago, and you guys will see her eventually. Her name's Callie, so you guys will definitely see her. But, I grew up, didn't really have a crazy childhood, didn't do a lot of crazy things. Really just had like my territory set. My parents were pretty overprotective, so I didn't really do much. The only things that we really did as a family was like go on cruises. I had a pretty bland childhood, video games, basketball at the park. Nothing really extravagant. My parents weren't rich, so I really didn't do anything crazy. And then, I went through high school. I played, high school basketball. I played high school tennis. I was very good at tennis. People really don't know that about me. I was probably one of the best players that came out of my high school that played tennis, but I was more known for basketball because basketball is more of a mainstream thing. And I did get recruited to a couple of D3 schools, and then that didn't really fall into place exactly because I wind up going to culinary school freshman year of college. Now this is where the story really begins. Just to backtrack a little bit, while I was in high school, while I was in middle school, like I did get picked on a lot. So most of my decisions moving forward were based upon me trying to prove everybody wrong. Like that was like my thing. So for me, getting out of high school, getting out of that negative environment where I didn't really have a lot of friends, I had to basically find my way. I just wanted to prove the world wrong because I was, very underdeveloped as a kid. So I got picked on for, like not hitting puberty at the right time. I got picked on for just, having a squeaky voice and things that come with that. If you've been in high school before, you understand what that's like. And basically, I used that as like motivation to drive me to another level. So I wound up going to culinary school because I was working at a cafe for the last 3 years. I did it as a job, wasn't really a career, but I wasn't really self-aware enough to make my own decisions. So everyone was like, hey, go to culinary school, you're already cooking. You might as well do something you're already doing and, pick like a gen ed major or whatever the case may be. So I go to culinary school, absolutely hated it. One day this guy came to speak to our class and he said that, you'd be working 15 hours a day, making $15 an hour, trying to build yourself in the ranks. And I just didn't think that that was something that I wanted to do. I wasn't really passionate enough to make that little amount of money. So I decided to call my mom the week after and I was like, hey mom, I'm coming home. This is not something I want to do long term. I wanted to get out of it then before I went the whole 4 years, got the culinary arts management degree as well, and then I decided I didn't want to do it for the rest of my life. So that would have been a complete waste of time and money, energy, and then I would have had to have, obviously reset, go home, and figure it out. So I wind up going home. I go to business school. I wind up going for sports management that second year, dropped out of that, and then I went to finance school. I was really all over the place because I wanted to be in business because while I was in culinary school, I didn't really go to class a lot, didn't really go to the labs a lot. I was kind of like the ghost, like I didn't really show up. And that was kind of like my fault, but I had other passions at the time. While I was in college, I was using this app called Yik Yak. I don't know if you guys know what it is. But I was doing that, and then I was flipping Pokemon cards on eBay. So all the kids would go out on the weekends. They party, they drink, and there was really no Ubers up there at school because we were up in the middle of the mountains. Like there was no Uber, there was no Lyft, there was no taxis. Like there was literally nothing there. The closest thing that was really like city life was Oneonta, which was 35 minutes up and around the mountains, and no one really drove that far. So I decided to take this app called Yik Yak, where everybody in like a 5 mile radius had like this big chat room, and I offered to have myself like drive people up and down the hill from party to party, and I would just get $10 here, $5 a head, and I would go back and forth. I racked up so much cash doing that, and then I fueled like the Pokemon card flipping business, and I was like barely going to class. One of my friends, Mike Conboy, if he's watching this, shout out to you, Mike. He basically like he had a room on campus. I lived off campus. Because I didn't really mess with the campus life. Like the bathrooms were disgusting and the kids just smoked weed in the rooms. I just didn't like that, so I decided to live off campus. But me and him got really close, and then he started to see what I was doing, and he was like, "Yo, bro, like, why are you not just like doing this full time?" So I mean, through the last semester with Yik Yak and Pokemon card flipping, I raised like $25,000 just doing that. So then I took the cash, I went home. I still had like a couple cards left. I remember one of these gold Zekrom cards that I had. It was like a golden chrome card. It was one of the most popular cards out there. I sold that for like $400 right when I got back home. I remember that day because I literally got home. My parents obviously did not like the fact that I was back home for the wrong reasons, that I like literally dropped out of culinary school, and I shipped that card the first day I got home. But like there was a little post office I remember at school that I used to go to, and the girls would know me. I go there every single day. Sometimes I go to like 3 to 4 times a day because people would buy the cards, and I would want to ship them out and get them there as fast as possible to get my reviews up for like fast delivery. Because I always put like 1 to 3 days shipping and handling, but then I'd always do just one day, same day. I would just go there, boom, 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 and I had like the supplies. I'd wait for all my roommates to leave the house. I'd steal my roommate's ink from her printer downstairs. I'd open her door, so I literally trespassed in people's rooms to steal their printer. So like that was like the hustle for me. And then when I got home, I obviously, like I said, sports management and then finance. And then I started working at like a life insurance company. I was being like a little assistant. It was basically like a 9 to 5 kind of gig. Hated that, but I did it, from nighttime, and then during the day I went to school. And then after that gig, I went to a golf course club for like 3 months. I was doing just the weekends. And then after that, the first day I went there for the full-on internship, because I was still in the sports management program on that second year, I decided to do that. I got fired the first day because I clocked in 10 minutes early. So like at this point, I'm looking at like 9 to 5s as like a disease. Like I don't belong in a 9 to 5. Like, I just can't do it. People hate me. People hate my demeanor. They hate the fact that I wanted to clock in early and get more work done, which still makes no sense to me to this day. And then I wind up leaving the Tuxedo Club. That was what it was called. And then I go to a financial firm. So I took kind of a break, and I basically I had so much money from the Pokemon stuff that I really needed to work. So I took a little bit of a break. I started a clothing line named Top Status Apparel. Started that, made like $1,500. Dropped it because it was just not working out with my cash. And then I worked at a financial firm for 8 months. Learned a lot there. Did a lot of lead generation, video editing, marketing. Rebuilt the whole website. Took about 8 to 10 months. Did some paper pushing. Did some data analysis. All that fun jazz. And then I wound up getting let go from that job. And then right after that. That was in like June of, I believe, 2018. Yeah, so I got let go in June. I started my agency in January. I had a couple clients racking me in about like $1,500 a month. It was just a little side gig at the time. Didn't really manifest it as much as I am now. It was just something that I really enjoyed. And at the time though, like even though the financial firm was making me a decent amount of money, I still enjoyed the social media side more. So I was like, all right, cool, I gotta switch it up. I gotta just go in on this. So when I got fired, I thought it was a sign. So I just went all in. I took all my time and just put it into that. And then, I basically got clients after clients after clients after clients. I rat raced for a little bit because I was just taking anybody at the point to just get some cash flow, to basically upgrade my lifestyle to where it was when I had the 2 gigs at the same time. I was working at Staples on the weekends, and then basically things took its course. My agency was building, and then right when I was in senior year of college, I built a huge following on Instagram. I had like 30K plus followers. I was posting like really motivational videos because I was running my agency. I wanted people to really like do what they love. Like that was like my passion. Like I wanted to really inspire people to like do what they want to do on their terms. Put out a bunch of content. December 2018, I get hacked. Some foreign dude comes into my account, deletes me completely off the internet. Luckily, I still had my podcast to reach out to old people who followed me. It wasn't really big enough of a thing to move everybody over. January 2019 comes around. I finish off my last semester. And then I wind up skipping my college graduation. And I'll get to that in a second. But while I was, in the last semester, I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to move out of the house as soon as I finished college. I just wanted to make my parents happy, get college done with. Barely showed up to classes though. I just walked around the campus with my Starbucks and my laptop, and I just did work. Like people thought I was nuts. Like the kids thought that I was crazy. They thought I was a lunatic. People who are the most successful usually are the craziest. It's just how it is. So I was, obviously like building my agency, not caring much about school. I was mostly outsourcing my homework. Actually, all of it was outsourced. I really didn't do anything in school. So, I'll get into that in another video. And then, I was obviously, heading towards graduation, and I decided to move to Orlando. So at the time, I had a client, Ryan and Jenna. They own one source, they own a whole nother agency, and they basically were like, yo, bro, like, what if you move down here? Like, you want to expand your agency, you want to grow your business, like, just move. So I was like, all right, cool. Like, I don't like the negative energy that I was in anyway. Had a lot of people who depended too much on me and just held me back, so I just left everything behind. Tell my parents one day, I call them like, hey, I just signed a lease for a house. Well, for a room in a house in Orlando, so I'm leaving. And they were like, what? Like, what's going on? Like, you didn't even like give us like any information about this before you did it, blah, blah, blah. Like trying to, like being parents. So then I wind up, going through the last month of school. During that last month of school, there was like a voting poll for like the awards for the business school and then for the speech at graduation. Now, the awards of the business school, there were 2 awards. It was like academic excellence and like business excellence. Yeah, I wasn't really good academically because I outsourced most of my homework. Actually, well, all of it. I didn't really do anything. So basically, I won both awards. The school told me that since it was unfair for me to get all the credit, they had to give the other award to somebody else. Another reason why I hate the school system, that's just my advantage. Like if I win something, then I deserve to get it. I don't really do that whole, everyone deserves a chance kind of thing. If I'm out there to get it and I get it, that's mine. So if I'm going to get my piece of the pie, I'm going to eat the whole thing. So that winds up happening. The speech. So when I had a following at the time, I still had people who moved over to my new, account. So I had all these people on Instagram go and vote for me to give the speech. I wind up getting the inside scoop because even though that my teachers hated my academic aspects of school, they respected the hell out of me because of what I did. So I wound up getting the inside scoop. I got like 150 something votes, and the second place person got 40 something. So while I was obviously making those videos on that old account, I was talking a lot about school, how I hated it, how it's a waste of money, how it's a waste of time. I just wanted to finish it to get it over with. The school winds up finding about the Instagram account. They didn't want me to speak at graduation because of what they were afraid I was going to say up there. So they wind up essentially revoking my access to the speech. I get the phone call about it. Well, it wasn't the phone call from the school. One of my professors and me were really cool. We talked a lot. He gave me the inside scoop, and he basically told me what happened. And then I realized that, everyone was against me. The school system was against me. I hated people, setting my own limits. I wanted to push past the limits. I wanted to, basically prove society completely wrong. So I did some crazy stuff towards graduation. So my parents were excited, my family was excited. They were like, oh, our son's gonna graduate college. Well, I had different plans, okay? So what I wound up doing was I took my spot at a graduation. Since I had a lot of money at the time, for a kid my age, I was like way ahead of the curve. I wind up booking a cruise during like that week so I didn't have to go to graduation. I took my parents on a cruise, and I told them basically like, hey, I'm moving to Orlando. I might as well spend the whole week on vacation with you guys before I leave. So then, we pack our bags, we go on the cruise. My mom's pissed. She's like, oh, graduation's such a nice thing. Like, it's such a special moment for you. I was like, Mom, I'm not going to use my degree. It's a complete waste of the 4 years of my life. If I would have started doing this 4 years ago, I'd definitely be a millionaire by now. Unfortunately, that is not the case. So I wind up going through the cruise. We had a blast. Next day I get back from the cruise. I freaking drove from New York to Orlando, and I did it all in one day. I remember the day too. I was like so full of energy because I was so pumped about like the new life, my new lifestyle, like where was I gonna go, how was I gonna navigate. Like I was like so excited to see what opportunities were gonna come, because I was always a firm believer in new experiences bring new breakthroughs, and I knew that I was on the verge of success. I just needed to find a new environment and then obviously adapt to it, and I was open to the change. So that self-awareness alone drove me to like an unbelievable level of success. So I had like 8 clients at the time. I left, came here, and it's been December, May, it's been 7 months, and I've gotten like 8 more clients. I've doubled my revenue essentially. Now I'm working with really cool online brands. I have clients that range from weight loss programs to Google PPC, based clients. I got personal brands, I got storefronts, I got local businesses, and I'm basically making them cash flow giants. That's what I'm known for. I'm taking local businesses and just scaling them online. So most of the clients that were with me during my senior year in college are still with me. There's like 2 that dropped off just because of personal reasons. But I've really never had anybody who's been unsatisfied with the service itself. I also do like simple social media management, content creation. I have award-winning content creation, which are the Instagram story videos that are very, higher converting for selling the click, especially in an age where the marketing world is so saturated. On top of that, I do, SEO, website design, just full spectrum digital marketing. So any brand that you may have, I take it from the ground and I just basically build it up. So if there's small businesses that need my services, I take that from the ground, build out their Google pages, their Google listing, their website, their social media pages, their content, their ads, and then I just take them to the moon. I also have, this secret review system. I call it a secret because it's something that if you implement, you basically can double a business's traffic and income in 6 months. It's been proven. I've done it, and I have the stats to prove it. So it's a pretty cool system, and I'll get into that in another video. But since then too, just a lot of crazy things that happen. I got a dog. Callie's chilling here in the cage. You'll see her probably soon. She's sick right now, so you'll see her eventually. I'm able to hire a whole design team now that takes over my personal brand, posting 3 times a day, video content, quote content. I got a photographer, I got a videographer. I literally have a whole team behind me. I got about 4 employees right now, 5 employees, doing 6 figures, which is not crazy because my expenses are a little higher than I'd like. It's just been a crazy year, I guess. It's been insane. So the reason why I'm making this channel is because I really want to give you guys insight into how I build my agency and just giving you free value. So if you want to learn how to build an agency, you want to take your business to the next level, you want to take your life to the next level, you need some motivational insight on a daily basis. I don't know how many times I'm going to be posting a week. I hope that I'm going to be posting, maybe twice a week. But just look out for the new videos coming. I'm actually going home in December, so when you guys see this, I'm going to be home from December 19th to the 29th. I'm going back to New York, and I have Andrew. He should be meeting me home, and we're going to be basically filming my whole new documentary from, home to, and then I might have David who's here, or I might have Andrew who's here, finish the rest of it in Orlando. So I'm doing a full-on documentary. It's probably going to be about 20 to 45 minutes. And that's going to be in production, so I'm excited about that. But other than that, my social links are down below. Instagram is where I'm mostly still at. I'm on TikTok. LinkedIn I'm into a lot right now, because of the arbitrage of just how much organic reach you can get on LinkedIn. Twitter, I'm not really a big fan of Twitter. Haven't really been hitting that very hard. But most of my days are spent, doing work for my clients, automating my clients. And I'll get into specific topics of SMMA and really just trying to weave you away from the gurus that are on here trying to sell you on courses. I'm not trying to sell you on anything. I just want to take you on a journey, and then hopefully you find value in it. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Hit the subscribe button if you're new, drop a like, drop a comment, share it on all your platforms if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video.